Yo, mic check 1 2 1 2. Salute, salute. Hey, yo, I got some breaking news today. We're fucking around with your boy Donald Trump. This nigga just put a tariff on China. Some wild shit. 104% tariff on China. Now, to those who don't know what tariffs is, they like when we doing like trades and shit to like other countries. Like, yo, what we got? All right, I got like 1,000 Chevys. I'll sell it to you, China, for like 10,000 a pop. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. With like cause we got to do taxes and shit. So I think the taxes be like 10%, 8% or some shit like that, right? Then Trump came, he did the taxes to like, yo, everybody gotta pay like 25%. He didn't do China, but then he just rocked them. He like, yo, y'all gotta pay 104. I don't even know what the fuck 104% is. That's crazy. But hold up, let's get into it. Right now.
News here, actually. The Finance Ministry has just made an announcement that remember there were 34% tariffs on all US goods coming into China. That's now been increased to 84%. An 84% hit on all US goods coming into China. Obviously, that's
So it went from 34 to 84. Now hold up, because I was just seeing the other one. What other did that? Well, the DGI is up. When I had looked, it was down after Trump had did the 104. So China retaliated. I'm trying to find. Let me get the 104 real quick. Let's go to the 104. Trump 104. 104.
The president's threat yesterday on social media to increase tariffs against China by an additional 50% in response to their retaliation. Has he signed anything in terms of an executive order, any documentation around that? Will that additional 50% go into effect tomorrow?
They will be going into effect at 12:01 a.m. tonight. So
talk it
tomorrow.
Yeah.
I just spoke to the president about this, and he believes that China wants to make a deal with the United States. He believes China has to make a deal with the United States. It was a mistake for China to retaliate. The president, when America is punched, he punches back harder. That's why there will be 104% tariffs going into effect on China tonight at midnight.
Go white girl. Talk your shit.
China want to make a deal. They just don't know how to get that started.
Yeah.
And the president also wanted me to tell all of you that if China reaches out to make a deal, he'll be incredibly gracious, but he's going to do what's best for the American people.
China has to call first.
That's sad, shorty.
Chinese want.
That's sad. Nah, that's my son. Salute the Donald Trump me for real. That's my dog. Nigga said, "Oh, y'all bugging. Y'all don't do that. That's my new shit. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that." That's what she just said. Don't do that. That wouldn't be wise. You're gonna retaliate. What? So I think everybody had the 24, but then he rocked them with like 54% tariffs, right? So once he rocked them with the 54, I think they retaliated. And then once he did the 54 and they retaliated with I think it was like a 40 or 30% tariff, then he hit them with the 104% tariffs. So once he hit them with the 104% tariffs, that's when they released that. And as you can see, they like, nah, are you serious? Like, she like, hell yeah, I'm serious.
In terms of an executive order, any documentation
deal with the United States. It was a mistake for China to retaliate. The president, when America is punched, he punches back harder. That's why there will be 104% tariffs going into effect on China tonight at midnight. But the president believes that she
find anything in terms of any documentation around that? Will that additional 50% go into effect tomorrow?
They will be going into effect at 12:01 a.m. tonight, so effectively tomorrow. Yes. Look, I just spoke to the president about this, and he believes that China wants to make a deal with the United States. He believes China has to make a deal with the United States. It was a mistake for China to retaliate. The president, when America is punched, he punches back harder. That's why there will be 104% tariffs going into effect on China tonight at midnight. But the president believes that she and China want to make a deal. They just don't know how to get that started. And the president also wanted me to tell all of you that if China reaches out to make a deal, he'll be incredibly gracious, but he's going to do what's best for the American people.
China has to call first.
The Chinese want to make a deal. They just don't know how to do it. But the president will be implementing these 104% tariffs on China tonight.
What conditions might you consider lowering tariffs on China at this point?
It would be imprudent of me to tell conditions here from the podium. I do just want to point out one thing, that the president, everybody in Washington, whether they want to admit it or not, knows that this president is right to tariffs and when it comes to trade. In fact, Democrats have long said that the United States of America has been ripped off by the countries around the world. They just don't want to admit it now because it's President Trump who is saying that. In June of 1996, Nancy Pelosi spoke on the House floor. She urged her colleagues at the time to fight against the status quo trade policies that had contributed to America's trade deficit with China. In fact, Nancy Pelosi said, how far does China have to go? How much more repression? How big a trade deficit? How many jobs have to be lost for the American workers? How much dangerous proliferation has to exist before members of this House of Representatives will say, I will not endorse the status quo? Those are the words of Nancy Pelosi in 1996. Well, President Trump is finally answering her call 27 years later. Nancy Pelosi can thank President Trump today for the 104% retaliatory tariff that will be going into effect on China. In 2007, Chuck Schumer spoke of our nation's crippling trade deficit, saying these are the kinds of records the American people don't want us to be breaking. The administration needs to move beyond words, take action now to reverse a trend that threatens our prospects for future economic growth. And Chuck Schumer said that in 2007. Finally, in 2025, President Trump is taking action.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. I don't know. So he said they were saying that back in the days, like, so now he doing it. Yeah, they've been hitting us for years. I don't see why not. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that's long overdue. If Nancy Pelosi spoke about it like in not 6, not 7, whatever. Then Chuck Schumer was talking about it in the early 2000s. Shit is long overdue, B. Like, when was niggas gonna pop on China? Like, all our presidents seem to be scared of China. So, I think that's pretty much what it comes to now. Like, you know what, fuck that. We gonna get some bread back. You know, I don't know how this shit is going to play out. This is going to be interesting. A lot of shit is going to go up. This is going to be real interesting to see. But yo, just wanted to share some news on that. President Donald Trump hits on China with 104% tariffs. Like, wow. I could have just imagine how much they gotta pay for shit, man. That's crazy. This is gonna be some shit. It's gonna be some shit. I tell you, boy. Joe, I'm out. Salute, man. Word, that shit is crazy. 104 is crazy.